Happy Arbor Day. Did you know that on the first Arbor Day back in 1872 that 1 million trees were planted?
1 million trees.
1 million trees.
That's incredible. Well, we all know that trees obviously have lots of benefits, not only for us,
sure,
but of course for the environment. So joining us now with more on that and what you need to know if you're planning on planting a tree is certified arborist Mark Chisholm. Thank you so much for joining us, Mark.
My pleasure, Caitlin. Scott, thanks for having me.
Hey, first of all, I'm just so interested in your career path. How did you become an arborist?
Well, it's actually a pretty easy story. I grew up in the industry. You know, family business. We've been in business for 46 years, and I'm a third-generation arborist, so it kind of came natural. I just wanted to do it. I saw it, and I just got attached to it, and it's been my passion ever since.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we love it. All right, so we live in the Northeast. Are there certain trees that we should avoid planting, or are they pretty zone hardy?
You know, that's a great question. A lot of people don't think that deep on it, but you're right. Every tree doesn't do great in every zone. There are zones that you can look for or ask whoever you're purchasing your plants from and say, will this thrive in where you're from? I'm from New Jersey, so a lot of the northeastern plants probably thrive there. There are some that will extend into the zone that people bring in from the south because they like the flowers, for example.
Right.
And we get one harsh winter and it dies, and they all say, why did it die?
Exactly.
But why do they die? How can we keep those trees from dying? How can we keep them alive when we're planting things?
Well, that's a great question. So number one is get the right tree for your area and the right tree for the spot, meaning the right sunlight, the right amount of water, the right conditions for that tree to thrive. And number two is do things that enable that tree to be like really vigorous. So for me, I like to basically pull the grass away from the trunk a little bit, pull the weeds away because they compete for water and for the nutrients, and then replace it with organic mulch like we have here, because 2 to 4 inches of mulch will actually insulate the root ball so it doesn't see a lot of big changes in temperature. It'll add a little insulated layer so that way the moisture stays there and actually bring in nutrients over time to even replenish the soil.
And Mark, I think I know the answer to this, but could you tell us why trees are so important to the environment?
You know, that's a very good question, too, or a very good point. Trees do everything for us, honestly. The aesthetics, the beauty, they recycle the air, pull out pollutants, put back in oxygen, they filter the water. They even go deeper than that. They give us better property value, up to 20% more, they say, on curb appeal. But they even do things for us as people. Like a lot of people don't notice, but they do studies now that tell us that trees lower anxiety, lower stress, they lower depression. And I think nowadays we all could use a little bit of that.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Yeah, stress reduce anything that reduces stress.
I'll plant 17 trees today.
Right. So where can people find out more of this information on how to properly care for trees and maybe go out and plant them in their neighborhood or backyard?
You know, a great resource I point people to is tipsfortrees.com. Gives you a lot of great info, and by all means, plant as many trees as you want.
And Mark, we only have about a minute, but can you describe or tell us what some of the trees are that are surrounding you? They're beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a big assortment here. So we're lucky. We're at a nursery here in Virginia, Colesville Nursery. They gave us all these great plants to use for this. So next to me is a larger growing shade tree. That's a pin oak. We have some ornamentals here. You can see these Japanese maples have different shapes and color leaves, which gives us a lot of diversity. This is one of my favorites, too. This is a metasequoia, which is a dawn redwood. It's a type of a redwood tree that will grow to be very beautiful and tall, and the trunk is going to taper massive, and it's a lot of fun to climb as a kid because there's a lot of lower branching patterns there.
All right, Mark, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but do you know what the safest tree is?
The one that doesn't fall over in a storm is the safest one, but no, yeah, I think the massive sturdy trees.
It's the hemlock. Get it?
The hemlock.
Very bad joke. Thank you, Mark, for joining.
Very good.
Yeah, thanks, Mark.
We appreciate your time. Thank you for being with us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I love trees. Just love trees.
You should go plant one.
I might actually.
Arbor Day's coming up.
All right. Are you